My name is Micah, and I live in Columbus, Ohio area, and I help people with their retirement. So that's what I do professionally. I had dreamed this couple, both wearing white. She had like purple streaks in her hair, and her nails were done purple as well, and like the glass chandelier and a glass table. And when I sat down with them, they wanted some life insurance because they just gotten married. They're like in their 50s, and I was like sitting down with them, and then boom, it hits me. I was like, oh man, I had a dream thing. And then just asking the normal questions like, oh, if God allows it, if the Lord wills it, if Jesus allows it. I'm like, okay, we're working with some people that obviously have focus on Jesus. And I was like, hey, sometimes I have dreams of people before I meet them. I met them, you're both wearing white, you got the purple streaks in your hair, your nails are done, we're at a glass table, it's a glass chandelier, you're sitting on the husband's on the left, you're on the right. Sometimes if we invite the Holy Spirit, some really cool things happening. And I was thinking about, what had happened in October. And they're like, yeah, sure, that's great. We're ministers at this church, this Pentecostal church in town. I was like, excellent. And so we just invited the Holy Spirit up. And then my hands like kind of ended up getting locked up like this. And I had been praying into receiving tongues. And so then I started doing tongues, and like my head like shook no. Like, don't do that. And I was just like, okay, well, I thought tongues are good, so I should be agreeing with that. And I was like, well, can we actually move to your living room and then we can, pray into this more intently? And they're like, yeah, sure. So we move over there, and I start like howling, and then they're like, we need oil. So they go get the oil right on the forehead and hands and feet. And within 5 minutes, I'm on the ground just like howling. And while I'm down there, I'm just like, this isn't supposed to happen to Lutherans. Like, everybody knows Christians can get demonized. Like, this isn't supposed to happen. And I'm good. Like, I haven't done anything bad. And then at one point, they, the wife is standing over, like, come out! Come out! And then they rolled me onto my side, and I coughed. I expelled all the way to complete, like, vacuum in my chest. And then I had spontaneously repented of 3 things. And I was like, okay, everything kind of like calmed down. And then we had the rest of our appointment. Believe it or not, they're clients. And then I get home, and I was like, you will not believe what happened at my appointment with these clients that, people I'd never met before. And I was like, I got anointed with oil. And she's like, yeah, you had an allergic reaction to the oil. And I then took a picture of it when I was brushing my teeth that night, but I'd blown out all the blood vessels in my face, like coughing that intensely. And then 2 weeks later, I'm listening to Ken Fish's stuff, and he's like, if you ever have a manifestation like this, and your face gets scrunched up, and your hands get cold, it's like, that's usually not the Holy Spirit, that's usually a demon. And I was like, I knew it, but I hadn't known it yet. I was like, that was the wildest thing I'd ever experienced in my life. And then he goes on to explain what the 2 main manifestations are, and it was 2 of the 3 things that I had spontaneously repented of. And I was like, oh man. And I'd like have the picture stamps in my phone of January 24th, and then 2 weeks later learning this. So it wasn't even like there's no way I could have been coached into it. Like, I didn't know what deliverance was at the time. I was still like coming into it, and I was just like, that was wild. So yeah, I received personally from that. It was really good.